Hello students, welcome back to the class. Last classes we have dealt about Government of India Act, in which we have discussed that how this act was passed and what is the aim of this act. So Government of India Act was mainly passed by the Britishers. They have passed this act. According to this act, the Indian people can contest election and they can rule the country. Okay, so this is about Government of India Act. So in the last class we have discussed that this act have certain limitation, and this act has given some powers, and this act has certain limitation also. So one limitation we have discussed in the last class is this act is giving, even though if the legislature if they have taken any decision, if they have taken any action by the legislature, so Governor General has right to veto, Governor General has right to cancel the action which was taken by the legislature. So this point we have discussed in the last class. Now in this point we will go for the part 2 of Indian Independent Act 1935. Okay, we will go forward. So Government of India Act 1935. I'll go forward, students. Now already we have discussed this point. This act was made by Lord Wellington. Okay, under the leadership of the Lord Wellington, this act was formulated, and this act was this report was submitted by the Statutory Commission, which was led by Sir John Simon. I'll go forward. Next one. This act was what are the important provisions and criticism we will discuss now. Okay, so already we have discussed in the last class that this act, this Government of India Act is distributing the power between the central and state, but in some provisions. Okay, so central government such as Governor General will get more power, so he can act independently on finance, he can act independent on external affairs, and he will have more internal, he can take independent decisions on defense. In terms of defense, finance and external activities, Governor General has given more power. Okay, so this is one part. So we have discussed in the last class. Now we will go forward. In this class, if you see, this act is equally the power administration is equally distributed between central and state government. So already we have discussed that in Indian states, during that time India was under the control of two parts. One is called princely states and one is called as British India, which is called as British Presidency. Okay, so one is under the control of princely states and one is under the control of British Presidency. According to the Government of India Act, elections will be conducted in only British Presidency. Okay, whatever the parts which were under the control of British Presidency, there only the elections will be conducted, and if any Indian party were able to win, or if they able to secure the maximum votes, they can able to form the government. Okay, so here this act is equally administrations were equally distributed between central and state government. Okay, and in this act, if you see, the separate representatives were given equally between the Christians, Anglo-Indians. What is meant by Anglo-Indians? Who are belong to the other country. If they for the Anglo in the sense who are related to the same countries, two different countries. If one citizen is related to two different country, he is called as Anglo-Indian. Maybe the father is Indian, or if the mother is England, then that person will be considered as Anglo-Indian. Or else if the father is from the other country and if the mother is from the India, then he is also called as Anglo-Indians. Okay, he is an origin of both foreign country as well as Indian country. Now one more point is Europeans. So representations have equally given to Anglo-Indians. Christians representation has given to Europeans equally. And for depressed class means in the ancient time we already know that SC and ST mainly are the depressed class because they were being discriminated. So in the ancient time, whatever the classes which are being discriminated, they were called as depressed class, and equal representations were given in the Legislative Council also. Okay, so this is one point. So this act is giving representations to all the section of the community. This is also one good. So this is giving equal, this is given representations in terms of Christians, it has given representations in terms of Anglo-Indians, it is giving representations means the person can be elected from the European community, the person can be appointed from the depressed class and Legislative Council also. So this act is very important, because in this act already from the moderates, we already discussed that during the moderate period many people have demanded that the strength should increase, the strength of legislative council and legislative assembly should increase. So this is a demand which was made by moderate people, and the demand was satisfied by this Government of India Act. Okay, so at last the Britishers have increased the strength, and Britishers have increased the power of legislature. So strength and the power of legislature by the Britishers have greatly increased from this act. Next, come to the point. In this act, one more point is, whatever the representatives are appointed, leaders are appointed, okay, whatever the leaders are selected, they were not selected from 100% of population. When you are comparing today if any leaders are appointed, he is selected from 100% of the population. But during that time, the right to vote was given to only 14 section of the people. 14% of the people were given right to vote. Okay, this 14% of people who has given right to vote, who are these 14% is educated and taxpayers. Children, during that time, right to vote was not given to all the people. Today, if you see in India, after completing 18 years of age, we have right to vote. After completing, anybody, without any discrimination between the race, religions, caste, gender, whatever might be, if anybody who completed 18 years of age have right to vote. But during that time, the conditions were not like that. So Britishers has given right to vote in their country also. If you talk an example, England also, in their country also, right to vote was given to only few peoples. So in England, in their country, right to vote was given to all the people in 1928. In England, right to vote was extended in 1928. So here same thing in 35. Right to vote during that time in India was and comes under the control of only 14% of population, and this 14% of the people are nothing but educated and taxpayers. Educated and taxpayers has only right to vote. But today right to vote is become one of the important political rights for all the people. So we have universal adult transit, but today, before that, only the 14% of citizens have only right to vote. So this is not complete democracy, we can say. Okay, even though the representatives are appointed, the representatives are not appointed here by 100% citizens. So this is one type of criticism. Next point is, this act was criticized by the despotic power, because still the power is under the control of governor only. So this is also one point. Already we have discussed that this act was criticized because still if you see the important field, the central government or Governor General is playing very important role during that period of time. So all the finance is under the control of government, external activities were under the control of government, and defense were under the control of Governor General. And that's why many parties were criticized this act by saying that still the despotic power and more power is under the control of Governor General only. Okay, this is one point. And next we'll go forward. In this act, if you take an example, Indian National Congress have criticized this act, and why they have condemned this act? Because they demanded complete independence and formation of Constitution Assembly. Indian Congress have demanded that the Constitution Assembly should be appointed, and this Constitution Assembly should be appointed, and the main thing is power should be given to all the people. In this assembly, they decided to form the constitution. So Indian people demanded that if the constitution will make, then normally all the power will be in the hand of the people only. Okay. So Indian National Congress have condemned the demand, and they wanted complete independence, because this is not a complete independence. Here if you see, still that Governor General is playing very important role, and sometime if the Governor General have a right to cancel the legislative action. So still if you see that Britishers were under the control of almost all the power were under the control of Britishers only. So this is one type of diarchy system. Okay, power when it is distributed between the two sections of the people, that is called diarchy. So that's why the Indian National Congress, they condemned this act, and they said that we does not want Government of India Act 1935, but we wanted full independence. We does not want half. Okay, so we does not want half power should be under the control of British authority, and other half power should be under the control of Indian rulers. Even though if the Indian rulers are taking any decision, that decisions cannot be implemented until the governor will not accept the decisions. When the Governor General will accept, then the decisions can be implemented, and that is the reason the Indian National Congress, they went, and Indian National Congress have demanded complete independence and formation of Constitution Assembly. Why? Because after the formation of Constitution Assembly, the constitutions can be created. Constitutions can be able to form. Next, this act not answer the aspirations of political and economic which is under the control of Britishers. So many people have criticized because this act this act is not answered about what is the aspirations for the political and economic which is under the control of British rule, and that is nothing but these are the people they have criticized this act. So what we have studied here, we have studied that the important provision of this act is giving administrations were equally distributed between central and state government. In this act, if you see, the separate representatives were distributed in front of Christians, okay, Anglo-Indians representatives were given, okay, some seats were represented for Europeans, some were for depressed class, and some are for legislative councils also. In this act, one of the important provision is to increase the strength and the power of legislative assembly. During that time, when the moderate periods, during the period of moderate party 1885 moderate period, the power of legislature was very less. So long period of time the moderates were demanding that the strength and the power of legislative assembly should increase, and Britishers what they have did, they have increased the strength and the power of legislature. In this act, many people have criticized some criticism like 14%. So whatever the representatives are appointed, this were appointed for only 14%. So we can't say this is complete democratic. Okay, so only 14% of people have given right to vote, and this 14% of people are appointing the representatives, and this 14% of people are mainly the educated and taxpayers who has given right. And this act was greatly criticized because still the despotic powers were under the control of Governor Generals only. So in the important and the various important fields, still it is under the control of Governor General. And if Governor General wanted, he can able to reject or he can able to veto the government of, he can able to veto the decisions which are taken in Legislative Assembly. Indian National Congress have condemned the demand. Indian National Congress what they wanted, that Government of India Act is giving power, but here the power is distributed equally, but in some cases and most of the cases if you see, Governor General is enjoying more power, and that's why Indian government, Indian Congress parties what they have said that we does not want distribution of power, we wanted complete power should be under the control of India only, and there should be no interference and involvement of British rule. And that's why the Indian Congress members what they have demanded during this period, they have demanded that formation of the Constitution Assembly. Constitution Assembly should be formed. So this is the demand of Indian National Congress, demand of Constitution Assembly. Next one, if you see that this act also explaining which is not answering, which cannot be answerable the aspirations of political and economic which is under the control of Britishers. What is the political aim? What is the economic aspiration? This act cannot be explained properly. Okay, this is the main thing about the Government of India Act. So there are some good provisions and there are some criticism also in this act. Okay, now after completing this act was implemented in 1937 and elections were conducted. When the elections were conducted in this act, okay, what happened in this election is 1937 when elections were conducted out of level province. These elections were conducted in level province, in the sense level parts, level states. Okay, these elections were conducted in level province. Out of this level 8 province, in the 8 province the Congress party has won the Congress party can able to form the government in 8 province, except 3 province Congress party were unable to form, but in level province the Congress party has able to form their leadership. Okay, after 1939, in 1939 what happened? So this in 8 provinces whatever the Congress party were able to form the government, in this all the province the prime ministers were appointed. Today for every state we are appointing chief minister, but during the time whoever the people were appointed in provinces, for them prime ministers were appointed. Okay, so they were answerable to the legislature and they were answerable to the people. Okay, after 1939 what happened? The Indian National Congress, when they demanded that we wanted complete independence, but the Britishers refused to accept the demand. During this condition what happened? This all level province, from this level province whatever the prime ministers were appointed, they were resigned. Okay, in 1939 all the members or whatever the Congress members were appointed as a prime minister in these level provinces, they were completely resigned. Okay, so anyhow we have some provisions and we have some criticism, but overall if you see, the Government of India is the first act which the Britishers decided to share the power with the Indian people. Okay children, this is our second part. Okay, in the next class we will discuss a new topic. Okay, we will meet you in the next class. Thank you very much.